All right, Tim Sykes here. Last day of 2024. So many lessons, so many plays. I know it's a little overwhelming, especially if you're beginning right now, but just try to learn. I wouldn't even say try to keep up because there's no way to keep up with this many plays. I'm filming this at 6:50 in the morning. I woke up a little late today at around 5:45 this morning, which, normally is very early. Like the stock market's supposed to open at 9:30 a.m. But in this market, we're having 4, 5, 6 a.m. spikers. This is why it's so tough for me to get sleep and stay healthy. Already closing in on 7 million, or closing in on 7 a.m., not 7 million, 7 a.m. We already have several big percent winners. All of them have traded 5, 10, 15 million shares. It's pretty crazy. I'm not killing it right now. I got to be honest. I want to go over my latest trades, profiting a little bit, but again, I got to be real with you. Several students are just crushing it more. A lot of this comes down to waking up really, really early, which I suck at, and being, in front of your computer nonstop because, like I've been saying in the past few videos, there's runners at all hours of the day, and it's not ideal for me, my schedule, my personality. So I'm trying the best I can, but, you'll see me over trading, under trading, missing plays, and at least, you can learn from it. But I got to give a huge shout out to, and I want everyone to comment below and give a huge shout out to Jack Kellogg. He has been absolutely crushing it. He sent me this at 5:58 in the morning, already up 83,000 on the day, trading several tickers. I said I woke up late and missed it, but finally broke my fever and sickness. So, I said we're both winning, but he is really winning. And I want everyone to say congratulations, Jack, in the comments below. Show him that, the community appreciates him, because it's not just about money. It's the fact that he's also teaching and giving back. Every single one of you watching should be in Jack's 7-figure cycles and, his new power signal indicator with JCP. JCP is another one of my millionaire students. He's Jack's analyst on power signal. And JCP is having a $250,000 month. So please congratulate them on their success, and they're giving back. And all of you challenge students should tune into every single one of Jack Kellogg's webinars. I'm actually going to be doing a webinar with him in a few days. Really excited for that on Friday. So if you're in the challenge, I don't know what day it is. The first week of January. I think it's January 2nd or January 3rd. I don't even know anymore. Whatever this Friday is. That's how out of it I am. I don't even know dates. Let's see, just so you know. It is January 3rd. I'll be doing a webinar with Jack and JCP, two of the hottest traders. So every single one of you challenge students should tune into that webinar. It's going to be amazing. But, this is me literally waking up an hour and a half too late today. And I missed a lot of the plays. He said 25 green trades in a row. I said HOLO. I'm so pissed I missed it. I'll go over why HOLO was such a gimme pre-market today. He said, yep, so easy. Bought it at 6.4, almost at 15 million. I'm congratulating him, and he's like, look at this. He's up at 2:30 in the morning today, no alarm, asleep at 8:30 a.m. or 8:30 p.m. because the market closes at 8 p.m. So this is what true dedication looks like. I know it's not easy. We all have busy lives, but Jack is making literally $50, $100, $200,000 per day. And some of you are like, well, I don't have that money. I can't bet that big. 7 years ago, he was broke. Okay? Let's not forget this. This was him 7 years ago. He walked into his failing business and saw a janitor application on his desk with his friend. They were trying to sell pillows in a Connecticut mall. So in case you ever think like, oh, my millionaire students make so much, you don't have that big account. He started with literally nothing, okay? They wanted him to mop the freaking floors, but he got it together and he studied, and now you see his schedule. And he posted this, just in case you don't know, he has an IRA, which is tax-free. You can open up an IRA account. He's turned it 10,000 into 1.5 million. I think it's up to 1.7 million this year, okay? $10,000 into $1.7 million this year. Yes, he's aggressive. Yes, he's ultra dedicated, but it is possible. And he posted this was the other day, 7 to 10 a.m. tape reading session. This was over the weekend, mind you, okay? 7 to 10 a.m. tape reading session 1:30 to 4:15 reviewing, his 2024 and 2025 outlook. Then Monday morning, he's up 3 a.m., no alarm, made 120 grand. Then he, in the afternoon set his buying power to $1, but he actually came back and he said he made another $100,000 on, I think, Fannie Mae. Let's see, what did Fannie Mae do? I mean, I saw this was one of his favorites. Yeah, Fannie Mae came up from 2.5 to 3.5. Like, you're just looking for these runners, okay? When you look at my trades, I'm looking for runners, but I'm off a little bit. Like, when I said this, some people I know are going to ask, like, why did I know that HOLO was the play? And he said, so easy, bought it at 6.4. Just look at this. This is HOLO yesterday. This is a former supernova, one of the biggest former supernovas. They had all this quantum news. So now a former supernova that everyone used to make fun of has quantum news. Whether or not it's real, whether or not they're going to succeed, it doesn't matter. It's momentum and volume. The volume is huge, and it had this huge uptrend yesterday. But it also finished lower. So this happens with a lot of plays. If they finish lower, it got up to 7.75, and after hours is down to 5.3. So some of you are like, Tim, I don't have time to go in and out like you and Jack do. You can try to hodl. You're just going to have wide swings. You're never going to see me risking losing $2 a share, like from the top to the bottom. And then, I don't care if it goes back to the top today. Very dangerous. But this is why I'm saying you got to wake up early. Look at what happened today. And I missed this right in here at 4:09 a.m. It goes back to this level here that it had resistance at in the afternoon yesterday in the 630s. Okay? You have to look at past resistance. Yes, it got up to the 7s yesterday, but in the after-hour session, there's clear resistance here in the 630s. And then you don't know, what resistance is actually going to matter. But here at around 4:12 a.m., it says, again, using the market, that 630 is resistance. Look what happens here at 4:40 a.m. This was an hour before I woke up. Jack is already up. Jack is on his game. He sees the breakout here, okay? He sees this candle. It's holding above the VWAP, which is good for momentum. You know that this is heavily shorted. You know that it could theoretically break out again. You need to buy this breakout. Any single person awake should be buying this 630, 640, 650, 660. Jack is not perfect by any means, okay? He got it at 640. So understand, the single hottest trader in the world that I know of right now is buying this kind of a breakout. You should be buying that kind of a breakout if you're up. Okay, this is my fault for, quote, sleeping in until 5:45 a.m. Eastern. But, when you're unhealthy like me, you're sick, you have a fever, you just got to try to get better. So I don't blame myself too much. But this is a beautiful, beautiful breakout. Even if you miss this run up here from 6:30 up to 7, you have a second chance. Okay, now it's forming a cup and handle. And again, you just go back to where the past resistance is. Again, you don't know where exactly the resistance that matters is going to be, but clearly you can see here 630 is a breakout level. And then right here, there's resistance at like 690-ish. Aside from this one little peak here, there's a lot of resistance. It tried to bounce here, 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 here. 4 times it tried to break above 697-ish. In fact, I got caught in one of those. I'll go over my trades in a little bit, where I thought it could bounce back into the 7s, and it couldn't. So 690 is huge resistance. It gets to 7, just knowing where the past resistance is and keeping it simple, right to 7, and then look at this. You get another breakout here from 7. And then this is at 5 a.m. This is at 5:17 a.m., okay? From $7 a share up to $8.25. So some of you are like, you don't know when to trade, you don't know when to buy. Right here, you had 2 clear as day breakouts. If you want to use the VWAP, look at this. It breaks below the VWAP and tries to come up, but it's not very convincing. Sometimes the bounces are going to be weak, okay? Not every breakout is going to be this perfect. It does help to be up at 4 or 5 a.m. lately. That's when a lot of the best breakouts are. I'm also watching VRME, right? Like VRME, very nice breakout here. You can see the top was 140-ish, 140-ish. Perfect breakout, 3rd time. Okay? Buy the breakout 140, 150, and then, it's already nearly doubled in, what is this, 30 minutes. Okay? So, these are just yesterday's biggest percent winner was HOLO. Today's biggest pre-market winner was VRME. APM is another one. This one's a little choppy. So not all big percent winners are created equal. You can see this one spiked big after hours yesterday, but really hasn't shown much today. It's really tough, when you get like this kind of like bottom bouncer, like, yeah, it's bouncing a little bit. You could probably eke out a small profit, but that's really tough. Going to my trades, this was my $100 loss on HOLO. This was yesterday, me trying to dip buy it in the 690s, thinking that it's going to bounce back. And, you might say like, okay, you were wrong, but I was wrong. It was in this mess. It was right here. I was thinking, okay, it's going to come back. It did get back to like 715, so I could have like eked out like a 10 cent a share profit, but I was going for more. I thought that it could at least retest 770, and it just didn't. And when it's sideways here, you might look at this and you're like, oh, you lost $100, you suck. This is a fantastic trade. When you're wrong, like, by all means, try to buy these breakouts, try to buy these dips. But when you're wrong, you got to suck it up. You got to be willing to lose, and you got to be willing to lose small or even win small, right? You just have to adapt. And I'm really happy because I got out on one of these candles when it was just sideways. And I was like, you know what? The stock is up so much. I'm focused on trying to be disciplined after my sloppiness earlier this month. I'm still red on the month, by the way. Okay? There's no way in hell that I should be red on this month. That's how sloppy I've been trading. So for me, it's not even about making the most money right now. It's about, can I get my discipline back? And this was a fantastic loss cut because it just wasn't bouncing here at 690. And within a few minutes of me selling, it went all the way down to 630, and then obviously, came all the way down. And some people will say, well, Tim, it's higher now. I don't care. Okay? I'm not going to risk it overnight on a play that's up so much. Small losses are fine. Same thing with BLBX. BLBX was running yesterday, and this was a speculative play, to be sure. But, speculative plays can keep running. I missed the front side of this run up from 2 to 4, and I'm dip buying it in here. Again, thinking that it could have one more spike up. It already had this spike and dip and then a follow-up spike. I thought that it could have one more, and it just didn't. And the same kind of thing with HOLO, it starts downtrending. You don't really want to be on the backside of these things, but you're never sure if you're on the backside or not, especially like when you like dip buying like I do. If you're buying the breakouts into the highs, it's tougher to be on the backside because you're obviously buying breakouts. But if you're dip buying solidly off the highs, this could have been so much worse for me. When you're dip buying these very volatile plays, if they don't bounce, you got to cut. And I'm cutting them so carefully, and I look like an idiot. I look like a coward, but that's true. Sometimes I am an idiot, and 100% I am a coward. But also, these small losses are okay because I also have bigger profits. NXU, this was very nice. It was a dip buy off of the highs here midday, and I didn't know that it was going to, keep going quite nicely today. Again, you don't have to be so in and out, but for me, that's just who I am. Actually, pretty crazy. They did, an offering, and all the short sellers are like, offering, dilution tracker. And then what happens? It drops when they announce the offering here, from $1.60 to $1.40. And now today back up to 210. Some people will say, why is that? Offerings are bad because there's too many shorts right now, guys. Okay? These are the worst companies that don't deserve to spike, but we also have the January effect in play where you have a lot of speculative spikers, but also it's just short sellers. So many shorts and so many toxic Discord groupthink chat rooms. We're all shorting this, saying, oh, the stock is up from 25 cents. It's ridiculous. And they're shorting because, look, the company is pumping themselves up and then dumping shares. So you can say, look, this is a pump and dump. This doesn't deserve to go up this much. And yet it does because of the shorts. So, shorts are just wrong right now. They're just wrong. They just have the wrong strategy for the wrong time. Sometimes you're in the wrong place. Picture like someone who grows up in the 1800s and then like early 1900s when the cars are coming out, and let's say you're a horse and buggy driver and you're just wrong. You're just, you're in the wrong job at the wrong time. Short sellers are just wrong. NXU probably will crash in a few days, but not yet. For me, I was dip buying it on one of these dips here. This one held up pretty well. I think it was right in here. Yeah, I usually, dip buying is tough. I usually like the biggest panic, and you'll see me in chat, I'll say like, potential dip buy, the bigger panic, the better, the lower, the better. This was a drop off the highs from 214 down to the 140s. And there was support here at 140-ish. You're just looking at where the recent big spike started. So congrats if you nailed the front side of the spike. I mean, there was obviously more upside there. Wow, APM is now spiking again. Right as I said, like APM is doing nothing. That's how crazy this market is. Remember, literally this was like 5 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, it's not doing much. It's kind of like bouncing around here. I mean, right when I switched off it must have spiked, because this is crazy. Go back and watch the beginning of this video lesson. I don't know the exact timestamp, but I saw it in here in the high twos, and I saw it doing nothing. That's what I'm talking about, okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You got to be prepared at all times. When I'm making a video lesson, unfortunately, I'm reviewing my trades, I'm reviewing different stocks. I took my eye off this one. This one just spiked. This is crazy. So had I been watching, I'm not going to chase here, but had I been watching, you look at this resistance here, 316, 315, okay? You have resistance, right here it breaks it. Right here at 7:07 a.m. But you got to be watching, you got to be there that minute, because by 7:08 a.m., it's already up to 380. But this is a beautiful little breakout here, This exemplifies my month, okay? The opportunity is literally right in front of my face, and I glazed over it. You got to look. You got to be ready. And this is why Jack probably has had 3 lattes so far today. He's got multiple monitors. This is unfortunately sometimes the downside for me, where I'm just trading with one laptop. I saw this. You can't say that I didn't see it. I'm glad that at least I was doing this video lesson so you can see. I was doing a video lesson the other day with INTZ, and by the beginning of the video lesson to the end, INTZ had doubled. And I'm just like reviewing 10 different tickers. But this is the kind of breakout that you're looking for, okay? And it can happen on any big percent gainer. You buy it here. Had I been watching, let's say I would have bought, 3,000 shares here at 320, call it. I would have been out within a minute, I would have been in 320, 370, 380 tops and made my $1,500. I'm not, holding through this. This is best case scenario. But this is how fast these plays can be. HOLO, I missed this morning because I wasn't awake. Right here, this is the time. You can see the volume start to spike. You just got to keep these big percent gainers on your watch list. This is why I'm so proud to do my watch list. I'm proud of XGPT and Iris and Oracle. The whole trick is getting these stocks on your watch list and watching them and then looking for the breakouts. Get inspired by Jack. I have to do my watch list. I have to look for trades. But, I'm proud of this one with NXU. Going back to my lessons, one good trade wipes out the losses, small losses. And then HOLO, I was a little too early. VCIG was a bust. But all of these trades yesterday, I finished up on the day because of NXU. And I also had OCTO early in the morning yesterday, 560, made 560. So all it takes is a few good trades. What did OCTO do? I'm curious. Oh my God, look at APM go. Look at this, 3 to 5. And look how fast it's going. I mean, again, I can't chase now because I missed it and I'm bitter. But this is just awesome to show you how fast this stuff can go. Let me pull up this. OCTO was from yesterday. So I was in on one of these spikes yesterday, and I should detail it. In the 290s, out in the 313s. And, it was right in here. So it broke the previous high here in the 270s. Or was it? No, it was later in the day. My bad. This was at 8:30 in the morning. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't look... It was like here. Here's one of these bounces. So OCTO was actually a failed bounce. I missed that big run up at 7 a.m. I'm missing plays left and right, as you can see. I'm missing APM. I already missed HOLO this morning. I'm sure there'll be some other plays that I miss. But this is why, leave a comment below. Say, first of all, congratulate Jack 1,000% on all of this. I mean, he's closing in on 15 million. He just passed 14 million the other day. But get inspired by his ridiculous work ethic and the success that he's having, and realize that he was dead broke 7 years ago. So I know it's not necessarily overnight like people want, but this is what is possible. Going from broke to 15 million and making, 6 figures in a day or an annual salary, pre-market when you're on your game in this market. Okay. There's a lot of qualifiers, and mind you, just to reinforce the fact that Jack is going to bed. Look at this. He's going to bed at 8:30 at night, and he's waking up at 2:30 in the morning. No alarm. He's very proud of that. So congratulate Jack. Myself, I got to do better, but at the same time, I'm still making a little bit, and I think the lessons from not being a perfect trader are good too, in showing plays as I miss them. Look at APM. I'm gonna watch APM now once I turn off this video. I also have to do my watch list too. So unfortunately for me, as a teacher and just not a perfect trader, that's the gift and curse. But I think it's good for me to show, what I do right and what I do wrong. Because sometimes I do nail these plays. It's not like I never miss, never, not nail them. But right now, I'm just a little off my game. And a few seconds matters. Again, I would not have held. Some people will say, Tim, you missed it from 3 to 5. No way, no how would I hold from the 330s to the 4s. I wouldn't even make it to 4, let alone 5. I'd be out in I'd be in the low 3s, and I'd be out in the high 3s. And it'd be, frankly, too quick for an alert, too. So sometimes it's going to be too quick for an alert. This is why you guys got to learn. I'll link to Jack's newsletters. He has picks too, but more important, if you do join Jack's, 7-figure cycles and power signal indicator, watch the videos, tune into what, they're teaching in those newsletters. And if you're in the challenge, by all means, watch every single one of Jack's webinars and tune into our special group webinar this January 3rd. I got to get going. This is just crazy how much this went up. Go back to the beginning of this video lesson. You'll laugh at what I said about APM. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. It's just bouncing around. It's not doing anything. That's my own fault. Okay? I see this after the fact. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. At least I highlighted it. I'm glad at least, it was one of the plays that I'm watching. And now APM is the biggest percent winner. So focus on all the biggest percent winners. That's what it comes down to. They can respike. They can spike big. In this market, you got to be prepared. So sleep less, wake up earlier. Congratulate Jack. I got to go. I'll see you in chat.